Okay, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Just trying to get this one to go to that one, and this one to go to that one. All right, happy Friday. Been seeing a lot of faces this morning because we started a new nutrition challenge, so that's exciting. I love doing those. I love helping people. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun getting switched up, helping people get their food fix in order. All right, so yeah, happy Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's sunny out. It's gonna be hot. I went for my bike ride yesterday. I was chatting with our au pair, so I went for a bike ride like an hour later than I wanted to. So I ended up going out from like 3:15 to 5. Holy God, it was hot. I got to like the corner of, hello, Deborah. I rode up. So I decided that why not on the hottest day of the year, something like 98 degrees, someone said, to ride up Sevier Hill and then go up Sweet Road to Pompey. And then I was going to come back on Clark Hollow Road, which is the old 70.3 course, but the oil and stone was still all over the road from a month and a half ago. So I turned and climbed back out of Clark Hollow and then came back up through Pompey. So I was kind of disappointed. I really love that descent on Clark Hollow, but no sense being stupid on a bike and trying to navigate gravel at 40 miles an hour. That's just dumb. But yeah, it was a hot day for a bike ride for sure, but got a bunch of climbing in. All right, so self-discipline. Ooh, that's a fun one. Do you lack self-discipline? Do you have very good self-discipline? If you're listening to this, probably don't have great self-discipline. So self-discipline is one of those things where most people, like, it's a skill that you have to work on. A lot of people, and again, like we're always stuck in our own, and we'll keep using this idea of truth, is we're kind of stuck in our own truths. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, they're able to stay so motivated and they're able to follow such and such a plan and they're able to do whatever. But the thing is this is an acquired skill. Like, you don't wake up and you're not like, ooh, I've got self-discipline. It's something that you consistently think about and work on. And when I was thinking about self-discipline today, I was thinking about that 75 hard that 4 of us did. And what that was a way of creating new habits in improving self-discipline. So, and what I mean by that is I love to read, but I wasn't making time to read. I was utilizing an easier way out and saying, oh, I'll just do it on Audible. Versus doing the 75 hard, it was like, you have to read 10 pages of an actual physical book. So now I was like, all right, so in order to make sure that I do that, I need to do it first thing in the morning. So I'm going to get up a half hour earlier so that I can read for a half hour. And that's going to be what it is. So that's creating that new habit to improve your self-discipline. Some of the things that, kind of go hand in hand with self-discipline: procrastination, distraction, those will impede your discipline. They will impede. Good morning, Mom. You guys are going camping. Maybe you guys go today. Those will impede your discipline. So, all right. So I've got some notes written down. So you want to lock in and focus. Okay. Most people can't really do that. Like they'll put it out there and say, I want to do such and such a race. And maybe for a couple of weeks, they're really good at that. But then over time, as let's say that their race or their event, or they're trying to improve their health, any of that stuff, over time, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks down the road, all of a sudden they're like, well, happy hours here, and it's a graduation party and a birthday party, and I'll just start fresh next month. because there's too many, for them, there's too many distractions, and they're allowing those distractions. Oh, good morning, Cassie. They're allowing those distractions to get in the way of what they're looking for as far as an outcome. You have to want to improve. So, and again, like I talked about this a couple weeks ago with like long-term versus short-term thought process. Again, you have to, like if we're using weight loss as an example, and you say that, you know, I need to lose 50 pounds so that I should be able to get off these medications so that I can be healthier, so that I can be around for my kids. I mean, the fact, like the last piece of that where it's like, so I can be around for my kids, that should be enough motivation, or for your grandkids, for you to do whatever it takes. So next time you do have that temptation, that it's like, when we talk about procrastination, is that short-term reward worth the long-term result? So if you are going to give in and have that short-term desire, how is that going to impact your long-term results? So you have to think in the long term, and then you also have to take that long-term thought process and say, okay, so what is going to be my best action plan in the short term? So how can I make sure that if my long-term goal is that in 12 weeks, I want to be down 20 pounds and good morning, Patrick, and healthier, if my long-term goal is a 1-year plan, and let's say that it's 50 pounds in the year, and to get off all medication, what are my short-term goals that will align with me achieving that? And you have to be able to find that balance between those two to where you can see that outcome, right? So that if I just say that I want to lose 50 pounds in the next year, it's like, okay, well, that's a pound a week. So there, you know, on one level, there's no urgency there, because it's like, well, if I don't do it this week, I just make up for it next week by doing 2. No, that's, you've failed, because you failed to hit your short-term goal. So you have to readjust that thinking, and you have to want that improvement more than you're willing to sacrifice that regression. Okay. Also, make note, like literally piece of paper style note, of any obstacles that will get in the way. So what do you foresee as issues? So I don't know, what are we, July 10th? Okay, so the rest of July and August, if I have a goal of by Labor Day, I want to weigh 150 pounds, and that means I gotta lose 20 pounds, then it's like, okay, how am I gonna make that happen? Well, you know, I have to lose whatever, like let's say a pound a week. And then I have to, you know, so how, you know, so my long-term thinking is that end goal. My short-term thinking is what I've got to do to make sure that I'm staying on course. Now, what are the obstacles that are going to get away? Beth's birthday is on Sunday. Happy early birthday to Beth. Best husband ever. My birthday is coming up, which is actually should all be in your iCalendar as a national holiday. Make sure you turn the US holidays on, as well as Jerry's birthday is going to be in August. Oh, my anniversary is in August. Slightly big deal. All of these things are opportunities. These are obstacles, right? Because who doesn't want to have cake, ice cream, and pizza, and beer, and whatever else on their birthday? So you have to take note of them, so then you can have an action plan to be able to work around that, so that you don't take 10 steps backwards. And that's what most people don't do, is they're like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and this is going to be fine. And it's like, it's not going to be fine. I'm going to pick on Patrick Costello because I see his name right here. There's Patrick. He's having a baby one day soon. So he has to look at, from his nutrition side, he's got to take that into account. Cassie, I believe you guys just had an anniversary not too long ago. Congratulations. You know, so like you have to take those things into account as you're looking at your goals, and like, all right, I know I'm probably gonna, you know, I have to plan for that ahead of time, so that when it happens, it's not like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. You know what to do because you've thought about it. So list them out. And again, if you put stuff on paper it's a lot easier for you to see like exactly what's going on. Yeah, see, Cassie, I remembered your birthday. I just didn't, I didn't want to put you on the spot like that. So it's a lot easier to see. I used to use, I don't have one in here anymore. I should have one in here. I used to print out a calendar and have like a calendar of like the months. And I would show people like, circle the days that because I had a client she was an attorney for the DA's office, and there's a ton of golf outings, and they basically are just drink outings. And she was like, I need to have a game plan how I can navigate all this. And I'm like, circle when you're playing golf, circle when you're going to be at these events, circle when like for a fact, like my boss is basically going to force me to drink. And, so that we can come up with a game plan of like, okay, what's our workaround going to be? Because obviously you can't have awesome health and be drunk 92% of the time. It's never going to work. Promise you that. So sitting down and having it written out, having it on paper, having it on your calendar of like, all right, I'm going out of town this week. I'm going to be on vacation with my family on this week. My son and daughter is going to be born on this week. Like, how am I going to navigate all that stuff so that I can stay on course? And that is all going to tie down to my last point, which is prepare and plan from the beginning. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about, Patrick. A work outing today with a client. And it's tough because, if I have no problem saying no when it comes to alcohol, which is for some of you, that probably seems like a surprise because I used to love to drink. But, and it's funny because whenever we go somewhere, I haven't drank out. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time. And someone asked one time, they're like, oh, let me buy you a drink. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to have seltzer and lemon lime. And they're like, you're not drinking? And I was like, no, I don't drink. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I didn't say I was an alcoholic. I just said that I don't drink. There's a huge difference between those two. People automatically assume that, you're an alcoholic or that you got, you had some alcohol issues. And I was like, no, right now I don't drink. But I'm fine with that. Because I don't really give a shit what people think about me. I probably do on some level, but for the most part, I don't. And, and that's hard. Like when you're going out with a client, you also don't want to make them feel worse by saying like, oh, I'm good, I don't drink. So like Patrick could spin that and say, well, my wife is, basically what, 3 weeks pregnant or something, like 8 months pregnant. And, we have a thing that, for the last 30 days of her pregnancy, since she can't drink, I can't drink. There you go. It's not always, you're kind of lying, but not really. There's workarounds. There's ways that you can get around that stuff. Even, finding different things like that where it's like, or, like Patrick does fasting and it's like, yeah, I don't want to have, I don't eat brunch because I fast. So I eat at 2:00 and they're probably going to ask you more questions about that. Oh, baby due in 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Baby's coming. Hot day. So you better hope that your missus is not going outside, Patrick. She's going outside. Baby's coming this afternoon. I think we should start taking bets on when Patrick's baby's coming. And all of that will go into the baby's 529. I'm sure you'd love that. But, those are like, you want to find those obstacles. You want to find those workarounds so that you can prepare, you can plan, and you can make sure that, okay, now, again, I have my long-term goal. I have my short-term goal, which aligns with my long-term goal. I know what my obstacles are going to be for the most part. There's always going to be some that come up that that you can't foresee. And then I have a plan of how I'm going to do that. All right, Patrick's going to have a baby on the 12th. It's okay. It's Beth's birthday. That's fine. Beth won't mind. Otherwise, you've got to wait until the 24th. So, but that would be like, that's today. So self-discipline, it's a skill. It's not something you're born with. Procrastination, distraction are two really good ways that derail that progress on self-discipline. So think about that for this weekend. It's Friday, so you don't see my mug unless you see me in the office. Friday, so you won't see me Saturday and Sunday. I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning. Again, beautiful day. Drink a ton of water. If you think that you drank enough today, you actually need to drink more, because it's going to be hot. If you're outside at all, which I still recommend going outside, but just, drink a lot of water. Keep your kids cooled. Make sure your kids are drinking. If you've got kids and they're running around, a lot of times they'll get in the water and stuff to cool off, but make sure they're staying hydrated as well. Check your pee color, super rudimentary. If it looks like mustard, have another glass or 5 of water. And I hope you guys continue to practice your social distancing. Onondaga County is still doing pretty good. We had one little daycare that is kind of kicking our numbers around, but continue to practice your social distancing, wear your mask whenever possible, because again, this isn't about you, it's about your community, and don't be that asshole. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. See you then.